Hey guys, welcome to another Minecraft video. I know I've told you that I would do less of these videos, but it's just so easy to record and edit, guys. So like me putting out this content is like it's just super easy for me. It's relaxing for me, and hopefully the same goes for you guys too. So, anyways, today I want to tell you guys a story about how no, you know what? This isn't gonna be a story time, alright? This is gonna be a rant, okay? So, you guys know how, like, when you're, like, in a writing class at school, okay? And your teacher or somebody is, like, revising your, like, story or, like, your essay, right? So, alright, say, like, you need to put some more, like, details or stuff like that in, alright? Let's just say that I'm, like, a teacher or something that's, like, reading over your essay, and they basically just ask, like, hey, I feel like I don't understand what you're trying to say here. Can you explain to me what you're trying to say in detail? And you tell them, right? You tell them what you're trying to say. You're like, well, I'm trying to say this and that, XYZ, blah blah blah. But this is what pisses me off, all right? Sometimes the teacher, all right, they'll all go snarky. They'll become snarky. They get hard in the pants. They will clench up their fists because they've been waiting their entire lives to say, "Then why don't you write it then?" You know? Whenever they say that, whenever they say, "Why don't you put that in your essay? Why don't you write it then?" When you've just explained it to them, all right? And the reason why I'm so against this, all right? The reason why I'm so against this is because there are some things that are easier said than like written down, all right? There's some things that are easily developed in your brain, all right? There are some ideas, some knowledges that are easily developed in your brain, and it's harder to like write an essay about, all right? It's harder to put down. So, but like don't get me wrong, there are some things that you can write down. There are some things where you can just write down after you've explained it to someone, all right? When if you tell me to write an essay about like this video I'm doing right now, I would happily be able to do it. But as long as one of the teachers, all right, as long as the teacher says, why don't you write it then, as long as one of them say that, all right, at that point you've pretty much lost all motivation, okay? You've lost all motivation. You don't feel like a writer anymore. A you just feel like a victim of assault, okay? As soon as those words, as soon as those sacred words escape the teacher's mouth, all right, I just feel super unmotivated to even add a snippet of that into an essay, all right? So this one time, all right, I'm basically going on with this rant for a long time, so deal with it. This one time, I had to write an essay about of mice and men. Okay, it was about it. It's this book about two farmers, and one of them killed the other one for some reason. Anyways, it's about of mice and men. The book is called Of Mice and Men, and I had to talk about a symbolism of like why the title is called Of Mice and Men, even though it's actually about like homicide and stuff like that. So I had to write an essay about that, and apparently the teacher, all right, being the teacher that she is, she found something to complain about, and I was like, all right, so what do you want me to do? And she was like, you know, what are you trying to say here? And so I basically told her that the mice, all right, the title of the mice symbolizes like it symbolizes weakness, but like people are afraid of it or something like that, something along those lines. And my writing teacher, my English teacher was like, "So why don't you write it then, you know?" And as soon as that happened, all right, I pretty much just sat in my seat and just stared at my computer screen because after she said that, dude, like I just felt like I got roasted by a 12-year-old who only knows yo mama jokes. Okay, that's what it feels like. You can say so many things, but at the same time you really can't because they're a 12-year-old, all right? Like you can roast the frick out of a 12-year-old, but nothing will really change because a 12-year-old will like has a brain the size of a peanut, and it's only got the 12-year-old's only gonna like keep on continuing with yo mama jokes and so is your face jokes, all right? And that's basically what happens with the teacher. You can't really say anything back to a teacher, or else the teacher is gonna slap your ass and send you to the principal's office. So It basically felt like the teacher just took a massive metal rod, dipped it in a pit of lava, and did one of those 1,000,000 degree knife challenges where she slapped it across my cheeks, and it was just excruciating pain that you couldn't do anything about. You basically died inside. It was cringy. It was unsensical, if that's a word. It was unnecessary, is what I meant to say. You just didn't need to say that. Now, another thing that annoys the crap out of me that teachers say a lot is this sentence, all right? I've already answered that question. That specific sentence annoys the crap out of me, all right? And here's why, all right? There's no real reason, no real good reason to say that, all right? And I just hope that all teachers will one day come to an understanding, all right? I just feel like all these natural disasters, all this bad pandemics, all that bad stuff in the world will go away as soon as teachers understand that you don't need to say I've already answered that question, all right? I just feel like all the crime rate of the entire world will stop. There will be no more kidnappings, there will be no more pillow pet stealing. I just feel like there's the all everything bad about this world is going to stop as soon as teachers say I'm sorry, or apologize, or finally figure out that, like, in a wider aspect of their knowledge, that they don't need to say I've already answered that question when someone asks a question that they've already answered. And the reason being for that is that if someone has a question, just answer it even though you've already said it. All right? People zone out like so much during school. People zone out left and right. They can't like stay focused 24/7. They're going to zone out at some point. And like asking a question that you've already answered is kind of a wake up call to you to make learning more interesting. So like flipping, just re-answer the question. Don't be a Karen teacher who goes like, yeah, I've already answered that question. Like, don't be slick yet like such an a-hole to the student, if you know what I mean. Like, there's some teachers who are like, yep, I've already answered that question, moving on, you know? They just completely disregard them as a student in that class. They basically embarrass them, and the student has nothing else to do but to put their hand down and ask another student, all right? Ask another classmate. And that's what I've tried to do plenty of times, all right? If I When I feel like the teacher already answered a question, I just ask one of the students, but guess what? You get called out for talking during class. So that's out of the question. So yeah, that's pretty much one of the other things that really gets on my nerves is when teachers are like, I've already answered that question. Just answer the question, dude. And there's no real back downside to this, all right? If someone asks a question, all right, just answer it, just re-answer it, all right? But like, at least tell them to stay focused next time, all right? Just give them a heads up. Don't be a complete jerk and be like, yep, already answered that question. All right, there's gonna be times when people zone out. All right, people have the memory, I mean the focus rate of a goldfish, like less than a goldfish, I mean. And so like, you shouldn't really expect much from a student to know exactly 100% detail to dust, all right, what you're trying to say. All right, you gotta like have some common sense. If they have a question, instead of saying I've already answered it, just use that same energy for saying I've already answered it to instead just answer the flipping question. All right, there's no real backside, the downside to it. It's a win-win situation. All right, the only good thing you get from saying I've already answered it is you look at 10 times, you don't, not even 10 times, you look 0.0001% cooler as a teacher, or like a slicker teacher. But at the same time, you look 10 times as much of an a-hole of a teacher as well. So there's that's the only effects of it. And the student, they can just ask another classmate, okay? And nothing else happens to them. They get like what, like 1 minute of like embarrassment. That's it. All right, so it only makes the teachers look like a bad person, all right, more than the students. All right, the students, all right, half the times they probably listened and zoned out for like 4 seconds when when you were saying something like important, and it only happens like 10% of the time for every month. All right, so it really shouldn't be a big deal when people ask that question. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much this video. I kind of ranted about what types of things people say that really gets on my nerves, and I feel like it gets on your nerves too. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching. I promise guys, there's gonna be a non-Minecraft video coming up soon, so bye bye.